Patrick with FullMetalRock.com. I'm speaking with Collin from the band Arson Anthem. How you doing, brother?
It's great, man.
Man, I guess finally for me is getting every member of the band in one place at the one time for Arson Anthem to happen.
Right.
So to me that's pretty cool because it's so hard to catch Hank, Phil, or you, the Pony Killer, all at one time. So
we're not often in the same place at the same time.
Yeah.
Probably for good reasons. I'm just kidding.
How's the show's been, man?
They've been great. They're real good. A lot of energy. The people are really responding to it, you know. I think we're sort of providing something that not a lot of bands do. And we're doing it in a way that's, you know, fun.
Yeah.
More than anything else, it's fun for them and fun for us.
Yeah, it was your second EP. The first one was 20 minutes, 15 minutes.
Gosh, yeah, it was
15 minutes.
Just take a ridiculously low number
yeah,
and imagine that's what it was.
Yeah.
Let's say 12.
The first one was hardcore. It's pretty much what we all expected. The fucking that heavy, just shredding, just get in your fucking face, punk.
Sure.
And the second album, Mike's vocals kind of cleaned up. The whole, I guess they kind of it was cleaner.
Right.
It still was hardcore, but it was put together.
Sure.
How long did it take to record that album?
You know, it's an interesting thing because you could look at it as like condensed time, or you could look at it as like, well, we started at this point, we jammed here, and then, you know, altogether it took. Well, we started out in Nashville when we did the tour for the first record, and then we wrote a couple things, recorded a couple things on Hank's like Dat Machine or whatever. And then we did a bunch of drum tracks, I think later that summer, and basically rewrote all the riffs that we did to the drum tracks in the studio. So it was this real Frankenstein kind of creation. So in terms of like coming up with a definitive timeline, it's sort of like next to impossible. It took a lot longer than the first record, and it shows. And it was a process that a lot of weeding out going on, you know.
Yeah. So as far as bringing back the hardcore, the punk like it was back in the day,
right?
How's the fan response been? Because they all play from different sides of music,
right?
So coming together and doing something that's, you know, old school.
It's interesting because, you know, for me, to answer your question, first of all, the fan response I think has been a mixture of an intrigue and just elation. You know, people who are older, who were there at the time that all this was kind of going on, it's kind of like, finally, yes, this is reliving like a real, you know, happy fucking time of my life, or a time when I was working shit out, or a time when I was going to shows. You're kind of chasing that your whole life, you know. You remember this great show, and then a lot of shows you go to, you're chasing that, you know. And then for a guy like me, who was born in the 80s, I grew up loving old hardcore. You know, I didn't listen to more modern stuff, but I never had any sense of what that was like. So I can't really respond in any sense of like, how much was it like maybe what the original piece, or how, you know, how much was it like what the crowd originally was like? I don't know, but the kids seem to really be enthusiastic, and that's one thing I really like about it. You know, you see young and old people hanging out and listening to the same thing. You don't see that very often.
Yeah, especially for punk.
Right. And by old, I'm old. I mean, older than myself, younger than myself as well. You know.
It's a different mix. How was it working with, I mean, legends in each own right?
Great. It was wonderful because when I joined the band, I was in, like, you know, my early 20s, and I was kind of like, I've been playing music for a long time, but I never really played with guys who've been really doing it for a living like that. So for me, it's been kind of like a learning experience more than anything else, and not like just a learning experience like, you know, oh, so that's how you paint a fence. The learning experience like, wow, I just got out of university or something. You know, now I have a doctorate or something. You know, that's sort of pretentious. It's not exactly the deal, but it's like saying, shit, these guys really have a lot of just fucking basic knowledge about making music and what it takes to condense ideas down and make them right. And they all come from different backgrounds, but they're all incredible musicians in their own right. So it's just, you know, really awesome and rewarding for me. You know?
Good learning experience.
Yeah, and trying to keep up, you know?
Yeah.
That's sometimes for a younger person, that's the best learning experience, just trying to keep up.
Yep, stay in tune. What did you see Arson Anthem as far as a project or as a band, like 5 years from now? is any kind of goal or trying to reach, or it's pretty much just doing it?
You know, I don't ever really kind of do the 5 years into the future thing because I would have been like the world's worst predictor of pretty much anything, including and most specifically my personal life. You know, you never know what's going to happen, so I hope we're still making music. More than anything else, though, you know, I hope we're all still getting together to jam from time to time. You know, 'cause we're all in other bands. We all have our own thing, and I hope that Arson Anthem's alive in the sense that we're all doing our own thing and still, you know, jamming from time to time.
Yeah.
That's about the best you can ask.
And playing in 2 bands with Pony Killer and Arson Anthem. You have any other side projects?
No, that's quite enough for me.
That's it.
Yeah, and Pony Killer is a totally different beast because I'm like kind of more frontman, like, you know, I do all the vocals and I play guitar. And it's also a different beast in the sense that it's very much unlike Arson Anthem. It's kind of a psychedelic rock band, and it's interesting going from those transitions. Like, I don't think anyone else in the band would say this, but for me, playing the kind of hardcore approach, you know, I listen to a lot of Black Flag, for instance. That's the band that got me into hardcore, and for me, that was always kind of like a weird kind of jazz sound, like real hard, weird atonal jazz, almost like very strange. Almost music that stutters more than anything else. It doesn't make quite enough sense until you keep listening to it. So that's one thing, and then with what we're doing with Pony Killer, it's a completely different thing. It almost seems a little bit more like orchestrated and compositional. You know, it's like the difference between John Zorn and Duke Ellington or something.
Yeah.
But they're both awesome. It's just for completely different reasons.
As far as with your other band with Pony Killer, you plan on taking that to, y'all have any CDs or anything?
We're right now, and by right now I mean I guess it's January 2011, once I get off this tour, I'm basically going to be going back into the studio. Philip's producing our first record. And it's going to come out on Housecore Records. Tentative title is The Wilderness. And it's about 90% done. It's just mixing at this point, and I got to do a few more vocal tracks, and there's a couple of guitar tracks, and things like that. But it's after 2 years now, we've got a pretty awesome record together. And our plan after that is just pretty much to hit the road and see who will have us. It's something I've been wanting to do for a long time. I mean, Arson Anthem like is a side project for everyone, you know, in the sense of they all have other things going on, but this is the band that, you know, I've never really had the band that I can do a main thing with until now. It's really exciting for me. Like I said, they're just both great bands, and I just happen to have the guys in Pony Killer around a lot more, you know.
Yeah. What if any new fans want to check y'all out, we can find y'all out on the internet? Housecore Records.
Housecore Records site, thehousecorerecords.com. You could also find us. We're putting together our own site, ponykiller.com. Real easy, just one word. If that doesn't work, we're always on Facebook. And I guess if anyone looks at MySpace anymore, I don't know.
I don't think so.
I understand it's more of an advertising thing right now, but well, that's what we had on MySpace, and it's probably still floating out there on the internet. So, but yeah, if anyone's interested, we might even be on YouTube by now. I don't know. I don't keep up on that, but those are your best bets.
Cool. Any last words? Hellos, fuck yous, thank yous?
Well, I don't have any fuck yous because I've learned that sort of thing tends to come back and bite you in the ass later on. You know, it's, in terms of hellos, hello to all of our current and future fans. You know, I love playing music, and it's an honor to play for anybody. And it's the most surreal and awesome thing to do a show and have people come and see you. They decided, hey, this is my evening. This is what I'm going to do. So, if you come to my shows, either Arson Anthem or Pony Killer in the future, thank you. And I mean that deeply. This is Collin from Pony Killer and Arson Anthem, and you're listening to FullMetalRock.com.